Hi, my name is Kathy. You might think this is unusual, but I'm going to introduce you to my pets. Here is Mojo. He's a Maine Coon. He's 13 years old and about 20 pounds. So he's actually bigger than the average small dog. And here is Molly, and this is Little Bit. You may be wondering why I'm showing you my pets. Well, I love my pets so much, my heart just isn't big enough. Do you think that my cats love me back? Do you believe that dogs, cats, and other animals can feel emotions? Well, I believe that animals have feelings much like humans. Love, joy, tenderness, fear, sadness, and pain. Unfortunately, they do not have a voice, and that is why today I want to share with you the need for stronger animal abuse penalties. The more we know about this problem, it empowers us to do our part to be a champion for the animals who otherwise are unable to speak up for themselves. I believe that the current penalties for animal abuse are too lenient, and the penalties vary from state to state. I've been a pet owner nearly my entire life, and sadly, I have witnessed dogs being terribly beaten, and it was a horrible experience. This abuser justified their actions by claiming that they were training the dog. Beating a dog is not training the dog. It's completely unacceptable. There is no justification for inflicting pain and suffering on any living being. Today we're going to briefly cover the definition of animal abuse. We will look at the current penalties, and we'll explore some ideas of what stronger penalties could look like. I want to ask each of you for just 1 minute to close your eyes and imagine your dog, your cat, your bird, or any other pet that you have owned either presently and in the past, and just imagine what it would be like to witness someone beating, whipping, burning, or hurting your pet in any manner. It's a dreadful thought, isn't it? So let's examine what constitutes the definition of animal abuse and the penalties for animal cruelty. Here are a few facts about animal cruelty. Animal abuse is neglect, intentional abuse, hoarding, animal testing, organized cruelty, and puppy mills. Animal abusers are mostly male, but in cases of hoarding, mostly female. The Humane Society statistics show that the most common victims are dogs at 70%, cats at 20%, and other animals at 24%. For years, animals primarily were regarded as property, and so they had little or no legal rights of their own. And according to the FBI, cruelty to animals is a common trait of serial rapists and murderers. Here are a few examples of animal abuse that have surfaced on social media. Meet Blue. PETA staffers found Blue locked inside a crate with the emaciated body of another dog who had died of starvation. The owner was sentenced to 12 months in jail with 6 of those months suspended, and then ordered to pay $452 in restitution to PETA for the veterinary bills. So let's meet Rain. In January of this year, Rain was beaten by its owner with a metal rod. She suffered multiple skull fractures and cheek fractures, swelling of both eyes, abrasions, lacerations on the shoulder and head area, a broken tooth, and bleeding from the nose and the head. This owner's trial is scheduled for this October 27th, and I hope they throw the book at him. So let's meet Caitlin. In 2015, Caitlin's mouth was taped shut with duct tape. She was unable to eat for days or drink. Her owner just wanted her to stop barking. Currently, the owner is serving only 5 years for animal abuse, but was additionally sentenced to 15 years on a gun charge. The current penalties vary from state to state. Penalties could range from a misdemeanor to a felony depending on whether it's the first or second offense. Often these sentences are reduced through the court system. Penalties can include jail time, fines, restriction orders, to not be anywhere near the vicinity of animals. But honestly, who's going to monitor that? So please take a moment and look at this following website and see where your state falls with respect to animal abuse laws. What I would like to see improve is the following: the institution of federal laws that will require first and second offense to be felonies, requiring jail time, fines, psychological evaluation, and treatment. In lieu of the lack of federal law, all states should be unified across all 50 states and consider animal cruelty a felony crime on the first time offense and have a zero tolerance policy. The creation of a federal registry. As part of sentencing, abusers must add their name to a registry, much like sex offenders, to allow shelters and pet stores to check the registry before they release an animal to anyone. If the penalties were felony charges for both first and second offense without bail, it would keep abusers locked up and away from animals. The establishment of the Animal Abuse Registry will be a key breakthrough because of the correlation between serial killers and animal abuse. This registry could not only protect animals, but in turn protect the lives of people. Mandatory psychological testing for all animal abusers will help the abusers learn more effective ways for dealing with their behaviors and provide recommendations for intervention. One of the major obstacles in getting animal abuse laws passed through Congress comes down to funding. I believe that the federal government, if they added an animal abuse registry, many organizations like PETA, ASPCA, the Humane Society, could enlist volunteers to maintain that registry, which would be at no cost to the government. So today I focus mostly on domestic animal abuse to provide an understanding about this issue. Animal abuse is a huge problem in the U.S., and I've only touched the tip of the iceberg. Lastly, I want to reiterate the importance of adding stronger penalties in all 50 states, and ideally by federal law. We define what animal abuse is, what the current penalties are, and the options for increasing the visibility and the need for stronger penalties. So you may be wondering, what can you do? Well, here's a few ideas. Speak up. If you see animal abuse, report it immediately. Animals need strong people like us to have a voice for them. Teach your children to respect animals. Understand that animal abuse can be a precursor to violence against humans. Volunteer to help animals. Become an EAMT, that's an emergency animal medical technician. In order to change the laws, we must support local legislation that promotes animal protection rights by contacting your local politician and advocating for animal rights. So please, let's all dig deep down into our consciousness and our hearts and stand up for animal rights. Change is possible, and it starts with us. Thank you for listening to my speech. I hope it has inspired you to be a part of changing animal rights and protecting our animals in the future. So thank you.